Hello and welcome to Oh the Horror. I'm Fedora, and there I was, just minding my own business, cruising the net, and then I came across this. Yeah, I bet you thought this was going to be some kind of tie-in to the upcoming Annabelle creation, the prequel that nobody asked for, to the prequel that nobody asked for. But this especially annoyed me because it makes no sense. The nun was never a human to begin with. It was a demon doing some cosplay to try and piss off Lorraine Warren. It's yet another cheap cash-in to try and make money off one of the creepier aspects of the Conjuring universe. And with that little rant out of the way, let's get on with the first time director James Wan's name was dragged through the producer mud. Well, that's debatable. No, I'm talking about the 2014 Evil Doll spin-off movie, Annabelle. Oh, yeah, he's here too.
You said this movie was about a blow-up doll, right?
Yes, Shades. Annabelle's a blow-up doll.
Well, if that's the case, she's about to be possessed by my dick.
Well, I shouldn't be surprised hearing you say that. After all, this is the man who told the world he wants to stick his dick in a bandicoot.
You've seen my channel, right? I have no dignity.
So, this movie starts with an abridged version of the clip from The Conjuring of the girls bringing the Annabelle doll to Ed and Lorraine Warren.
By the way, get used to this view, because if close-up shots of the doll's face are what pass off as effective scares, then this movie makes The Conjuring look like Barbie's Starlight Adventure.
Wait a minute. That's not what the Annabelle doll looks like at all. 1 year earlier, we cut to Tony Amendola, doing what he always does when he's not voice acting mad scientists or smart-ass wizards, playing a priest. But we'll get to him later. First, we meet our heroes for this movie, Mia, played eerily enough by somebody actually named Annabelle, and John, who looks like he has Made in Taiwan stamped on him somewhere.
Mia and John are a married couple with a baby on the way, living next door to their good friends the Higgins family, whose estranged daughter named, take a wild guess, ran away from home to join the Manson family 2 years ago.
By now she's probably got 3 husbands and calls herself Star.
Yep, Charles Manson was pretty famous for being all about that peace and love.
But apart from Westworld here not having an arc in Dream Daddy anytime soon, everything seems to be going swimmingly for our heroes. A growing family, John's new job, the Conjuring soundtrack.
And finally, John gives Mia a present. A lifelike replica of Goldie Hawn, as she appeared in the movie Snatch.
I guess it doesn't matter if he's directing or producing. If James Wan's name is attached to a movie, there's going to be something in it with a hand shoved up its ass. And zoom. Later that night, the Higgins house is broken into by some members of the Manson family. And if only the rest of the movie could have continued like this, because there is some really damn good atmosphere here. But then, even after knowing what the rest of the film is like, I still maintain that from a visual perspective, this movie is still fantastic. Mostly due to the director being John R. Leonetti, the cinematographer for The Mask, Insidious 1 and 2, and of course, The Conjuring.
Here's the thing though. He did the cinematography work for Mortal Kombat. But he directed Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
The cultists then break into our hero's home and attack Mia, stabbing her, before the cops arriving about less than 2 minutes after being called, bust in and gun one of them down. The other cultist, the Higgins' own daughter Annabelle, kills herself in some ritual, which you would think is what causes the doll to become possessed, but now thanks to this, we know that shit ain't true.
What is there, like 2 demons possessing this doll now? How does it work schedule-wise? Oh, I'll take Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Well, I'll take Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Who's gonna take Sunday?
Mia is brought home after a hospital stay, and that very night, paranormal things start to happen. Chill, bro. The ghosts were just trying to knit you a nightcap to go along with those PJs. The creepiness continues the next day when Mia hears the Annabelle doll seemingly moving around, and let's just take a good long look just to make sure. Nope. Okay, let's throw this gimmick in the trash.
Right after this angle was shot, they found Drew Barrymore hanging by her intestines in the front yard.
The next morning, I guess the demons really wanted that popcorn and use it in order to burn down John and Mia's house. But don't go hoping to pocket that insurance money, Dr. Ken, because that's going straight into the college fund.
Look at her.
Yeah, it's sweet and all, until you read the Twitter post John made right after. Ugh. They then decide to move to an apartment complex in Pasadena, where the only supernatural thing they'll have to worry about is road rule breaking werewolves.
At least they still have Father Tony, who spends his Sundays taking pictures of babies. Nothing sus. They also have the Annabelle doll, who seems to have stowed away with them.
And despite being the one to insist on throwing her away in the first place, Mia decides to keep her now, for some reason. I guess the new angry brows and smell of rotting garbage really added to the antique appeal. At the 40-minute mark, we finally get some ghosts. And then they're gone again. But what we get instead is Alfre Woodard, who, as much as I adore as an actress, you can never really trust. I mean, one minute she's telling Robert Downey Jr. how much she loves him, and the next she's blaming him for the death of her son and running a Harlem-based crime syndicate. That night, the ghosts reappear so they can play with the sewing machine again. And, aw, look, she's just a little girl. There's nothing to be scared. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! But clearly Mia is much more of a man than I, because if you think that scared her enough to get her child out of the house, well, think again.
Then again, Mia doesn't even notice Annabelle completely face a different direction between cuts. So maybe we're just expecting too much.
And yeah, after seeing some shit like that, I'd go down to a dark and creepy storage room by myself too. Hell, I'd bring a Ouija board and kick an ancient Native American skull around. I don't give a fuck. After a couple of surprise guest appearances by the baby carriage from Ghostbusters 2 and Batman, we get a chase scene where Mia runs back up to her room, but not before getting some oddly shaped scar that vanishes the next morning.
So is that like a demonic hickey? 'Cause me like it.
Actually, after talking to the easily convinced Evelyn,
I think my family's being haunted by a ghost. I'll follow me.
we find out that it's a ritual symbol that the cult used earlier in order to summon the demon which is now after a soul to satisfy its appetite.
Also, there's a part here where Evelyn talks about a suicide attempt she made some years back after her daughter died in a car crash.
But as I lay there waiting for it all to end, I heard her voice. She told me that it wasn't my time, that God had another purpose for me.
Now, I want you to remember this moment because, holy shit, what they try to pass off as a happy ending is pretty fucked up.
Okay, so she pretty much knows for a fact now that there are demons after her baby, and yet she still leaves her alone to investigate a strange noise, which allows said demons to almost kill the baby with a copy of 50 Shades Darker. Well, this is a little on the nose. The doll's finally moving seemingly by itself, and the building Mia lives in is called the Barclay.
Man, Cult of Chucky looked a lot better in the trailers.
Father Tony pays a visit so he can see the 19th and 20th Annabelle zoom-in shot. Is she stoned in this scene? And failed to take her back to the church to try and weaken the demon, which lands him in hospital. Given that whole Iron Man 2 Peter Parker retcon, I'm just waiting for a tweet to pop up saying, "Hey, remember that nun from Annabelle?" Haha, well. After that, things go apeshit over at the apartment, and we get the third pretty decent and damn shocking scene in the movie where the demon tricks Mia into what it looks like bashing her own baby's skull in against the cot. And when I saw this in theaters, I was like, holy shit, they actually had the balls to do this? But then they chickened out.
Yeah, God forbid something shocking happens in this movie. A horror movie.
Then the demon sends her a text to offer her soul in exchange for the baby, and she's about to take it up on that deal, but John and Evelyn bust in and stop her. And then this happens.
There has to be another way.
There is. I can make it right. This is what Ruby meant.
No, no!
So the ghost of your daughter didn't want you to commit suicide so that you could then go on and live your life and commit suicide and offer your soul to a demon and be tortured for all eternity. Yay, God?
So, after a 6 months later time jump, the movie comes to an end in a store that specializes in religious trinkets like demon-possessed dolls and Jesus butt plugs. And we see a woman buy the doll for her daughter.
And then we find out this was all just one big, embarrassing misunderstanding because somebody just left the evil switch clicked on. Well, that was Annabelle.
I admit I was doing a lot of nitpicking here. This definitely is not the worst movie I've reviewed on this show. Not by a long shot. But I think what annoys me and so many others about it is how much of a drop in quality it was after something as amazing as The Conjuring. I mean, they hire far less talented lead actors and have just over a quarter of its budget, and they really think they're gonna get something just as good? That's just stupid. The plot, when it wasn't being all Rosemary's Baby, was very by the numbers too, with nothing in terms of surprises or anything really that noteworthy. And the main thing I remember when thinking back on it now is the overall lack of atmosphere after the initial cult scene, and how much the ending left me angry and unsatisfied.
Well, that's all from me for tonight, and I'm sure Shades here has some video game about dick chick robots fucking furries he needs to work on.
Yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. Catch you later, peeps.
Well, I'm Fedora, this is Oh the Horror, save a screen for me, and I'll see you next time.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair.
I have no dignity. Fuck a toaster if it was sexy. Flash!